Alright, no one laughed.
How is everybody? Drunk? That nice blonde lady with those two impressionable looking children, now might be a good time to pop outside. Because I don't want to destroy them and make them end up like me. No, I know you're laughing, I'm totally serious. Yeah, well, it's different. You can say anything in a song. All right, hey, I'm not paying for your kids' therapy. I don't give a shit. Happy Memorial Day. Yay. I love Memorial Day. You can use it as an excuse to be extra patriotic for no reason. And nobody takes advantage of it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I was talking earlier with Eric about how today, of all days, you could probably just walk through Acacia Park and just lay a poster of Osama bin Laden down on the ground and just start beating off onto it in the middle of a crowded park and nobody would say shit. Nobody would. You'd probably get a lot of salutes from every adult that walked by. They'd make their kids salute you. Salute the patriot. He's shooting a load of 100% red, white, and blue American freedom all over Osama's face. You can do that. Otherwise, they win. You can't let the evildoers win. I hear a lot of people that talk about evil, and I don't know why. Most people seem to think that money is the root of all evil. Or like the clever ones will tell you that it's not money itself, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. And that's fucking stupid. Where do these people think money came from? From us. Money's not the root of all evil, people are. Everything we do. John Wayne Gacy didn't rape and strangle teenage boys to diversify his stock portfolio. He did it because he enjoyed doing it. It's got nothing to do with money. And I feel qualified to say this because I come from a long line of evil people. I do. I'll tell you about my dad so you can understand why it is that I'm this fucked up in my head. My dad is a drug addict, murdering criminal. And then when I was a very young boy, he just looked at me and took my hopes and dreams and expectations and just wiped his shitty ass with it. Just ruined my impressionable mind with everything. When I got in trouble, like my third day of kindergarten, I cursed, and they called my parents in for a conference, and my dad showed up drunk and on meth. And the teacher looked at him and said, well, I can see where Josh's bad behavior comes from. And my dad said, I know, I think his mother's a cunt too. I was 5. Like it took me years to figure out that cunt wasn't even my mom's name. Like the first time, like, who's Maggie? I don't know who that is. I thought her name was cunt. That's the fucked up part about being a child. You don't realize that shit's evil yet. That's whatever you grow up in, that's normal. The first time one of my friend's dads got off the phone and didn't rip the phone out of the wall, I was just stunned. I thought that's how you ended phone calls, was by ripping it out of the wall and then punching a hole in the bathroom door. I did, that's what I thought. And like, when I was like 8, my dad came into his room and found me playing with his .38 snub-nosed pistol because I found it in his sock drawer, and I'm just pretending that I'm a cowboy and just pointing it around the room. My dad comes in, and his way of teaching me about gun safety was to walk over, take the gun out of my hand, and fire 3 shots into the fucking floor. And then he looked at me and said, you always have to assume the gun's loaded. Here you go. And he gave it back to me, and left. And I just thought, hey, that's what dads do. I don't know, he's just fucking, his rap sheet probably wouldn't even fit on like an 8 gig hard drive. It's just a long, sad history of murder and armed robbery. And he still comes and just visits me at random. Like he showed up at my house like 2-3 weeks ago trying to get me to shoot a porno film for some guy that shoots porn in the city. That's what my dad thought, like, oh, my son can totally shoot porn. He just showed up and I got an offer that's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna shit yourself when you hear this. You can make thousands. Like, anybody can make thousands shooting local Colorado Springs porn. So what am I gonna be fucking? Some diabetic with varicose vein back fat enveloping some discolored butterfly tramp stamp? The kind of woman that like, she puts on a pair of tight jeans and her camel toe looks like a whole foot. He didn't even ask what I'd be fucking. He just heard some guy say porn and thought of me. I don't even know what it would be. But it's just, no one would want to watch me fuck. Why would anybody pay me thousands of dollars to film me trying to cram all 3 inches of my semi-hard whiskey dick into some quivering woman? It's just, because I'm not good in bed, I'm aware of that. I have to trick women into sleeping with me. Like, it's a lot like tricking somebody into seeing a bad movie. Like, you figure it out, like, halfway through, but by that point, you're just kind of committed to finish. Because that's what I do. I'm not good at it, and how would that porn even work? You'd have to, like, outsource it to Industrial Light and Magic to CGI the cum shot, because I'm not interested enough in it to pull it off. Porn. What's the point of porn? There's no point. Unless it's like freaky shit, like amputee porn. I saw that like last week. That was mind-blowing. Some woman just stumped fucking a guy. It was terrible. Blame my dad. My dad fucked me up in a lot of ways. You want? Okay, I'm gonna tell you this story. This story should sum up how truly evil my dad is, and hopefully will help you understand why I am the way I am. My dad is very redneck, and he's from the South, and you know, my extended family are all moonshiners. And when I was a kid, my dad got this dog that was half Rottweiler and half chocolate lab. And I'm not saying this for shock value or to offend anybody, but my dad brings his dog home and called him nigger. And that was just what he named dogs. The dog after that was another chocolate lab, and he named him the same thing. And then he got a brown and tan heeler and named him the same thing too. And that's when my sister figured out he was racist. Like, not the first 2 dogs, that was okay because they were black. But I can't remember, I think it was Nigger 2 ran away from home one day, and my dad had me go look for it. I'm 8 years old, and I'm running up the side of my street, shouting at the top of my lungs, "Here, nigger!" I didn't know, that was my introduction to the word, and I didn't find him. I found a lot of confused neighbors. Like, the whole block would just, they'd stick their head out the window, like, who's that white kid screaming, "Here, nigger!" And then finally this very polite, elderly black gentleman just comes and towers over me from nowhere. He's like, "Where's your parents?" And I said, "Oh, my dad's up that way." And he said, "Okay, what are you doing out here by yourself?" And I said, "Oh, I'm trying to find nigger." And he said, "Okay, come with me." And he walked me by the hand, very polite, back to my house, and then very cordially just explained to my father why that wasn't cool. To just put that shit in an 8-year-old's mind. And I don't want to offend anybody. If you're black and you're offended by that, when I'm done here, I will go to your house and I'll be your slave for like a month. I don't give a shit. I'll do all your chores without pay, and you can beat me with rusty leather straps connected to chains until my back's bleeding like the last day of a month-long feminist convention. I don't care. That's a true story. I don't want to pussyfoot around it. That's what happened. And that's why I'm the way I am now, is because my dad just filled my mind with hate and deceit. And then jerked off onto Osama bin Laden's face. And called it a day. So, thanks for letting me get that off my chest. I'll be outside if any of you want to, like, lynch me or anything, but thank you very much for listening. I hope the rest of you have a great Memorial Day.